Hey guys, morning. Colin here. Welcome to the CO visit, and always my trusty coffee. Well, happy Sunday to everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for clicking on this video. So, probably saw the thumbnail and the buzz, what everybody's talking about today, anyway, on Sunday. Now, these things can change at any time, but of course, everybody's all up in the air about the app TikTok closing down today in the US. Interestingly, that's in the US. Where I live, Honduras, Central America, the app is still open, so it's just fine here. But that's causing quite a uproar among millions of users in the US at today on Sunday, January 19th, are no longer able to access that platform. And guys, I don't know. I mean, you can all open up the debate down in the comment section. I'm all for that. I'm all open to it because I'm not claiming to know. But I don't know, guys. It's just, maybe I'm missing something here. Is it just me? But it seems like right now, in the times we're living in, it seems like more and more and more it's just becoming very difficult to really know what to think and who to believe or what to believe. But it seems like to me with this whole situation with TikTok, there's a couple different scenarios that could be possible, or maybe it's a combination of them. Because we have, first of all, that it's because the US doesn't want China. It's kind of a like, you're doing this, so we're going to do this too. That China wouldn't allow a US based owned app to exist in China. So they're saying, well, we're going to do the same to you then. We are not going to allow you to. You have to sell it to a US company, and then the app can exist. But that's one version. Another one is the whole information data security. That platform, the Chinese can buy your information and sell it, and there's no control. And it can be used for spying, and it's a risk for national security. That's another version, which really, guys, I don't know. I don't really buy that much because, I mean, look at TikTok. Have you watched TikTok lately? I don't think there's a whole lot of content on there that's risking national security. I mean, come on. But if it's about not selling information and privacy and all of that, it's kind of like, really? I mean, really? All of a sudden, everyone's worried about an app selling your information. That's been going on for decades, guys. Decades. Our government has been using, and these companies on the internet taking our information, selling our information without your consent. This has been going on forever. Not like it's something new. It's just that our government wants to be the one doing it. So it's kind of like, does it really matter who's buying it or selling it? It's already happening anyway. Facebook's been doing it. I mean, this has been going on for a long time. And all of a sudden, everyone's worried about that. Kind of seems to me like it's a big distraction. Everybody's worried about the wrong things. Now, when it comes to political issues, and you guys know I'm not going to try to get into a lot of political stuff on here, but, you know, and on this point, I'm going to be across the board because that's the way we have to be, guys. We have to be objective. We have to call things out when necessary, regardless of who it is, regardless of the political party. And both Biden, Trump, Mike Pence, I mean, and these are only the people we know about. They had access to classified, top secret, sensitive documents, and they just had them sitting around wherever. Biden hands some in office, wherever, just kind of like, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot I had these too, just sitting there for anybody to see, for anyone to go grab. Mike Pence had some too. He had to turn them in. Trump had a whole bunch, some that he still didn't turn in, and he was having people over and showing them. So we're talking about worrying about spying, worrying about getting data, information that could compromise national security, and they're trying to get us worried about TikTok. I mean, seriously, come on, guys. You're worried about the wrong stuff. You're worried about the wrong people and the wrong stuff. Okay? The people on that app doing these battles, doing these challenges, doing all this just idiotic stuff, throwing bleach in their face and all that kind of. Believe me, there's no risk to national security there. But you know what, guys? To me, I'll just give you my 2 cents on the whole issue. What I think it kind of has to do with. Maybe some of those other things are a factor, but what I think is this all comes down to money, it comes down to the elites, it comes down to billionaire, the business owner, corporate America. And those people are basically interested in three things, three very basic things. One, keeping their wealth. Two, getting more wealth, expanding their wealth. And three, making sure you don't have wealth. They want to keep you limited. They want to keep you down. Because as soon as you try to start getting ahead, they've set up, and maybe even a fourth one is after they do all of that, maintaining their wealth, getting more wealth, keeping you from getting wealth, they work at creating the system that protects them and makes it very difficult, if not impossible, for normal people, working class people, to get to that level, or at least to get ahead, at least to make an extra buck. That's why on these platforms, like on TikTok and Instagram, YouTube, right, especially, they have all these hoops you have to jump through in order to monetize, for example. And then they have all the copyright stuff and all the strikes that you can possibly get. And sometimes the content, it's not right for the kind of ads, the kind of companies. And then you have to fill out all this tax information. You have to send it out. And then they send you a code and they have to verify your address and do all this stuff. And then even after that, they're taking what, at least 30%, right? To taxes and YouTube. So at the end of the day, they really make it hard to make any money at all. Unless you're a person that, I mean, is making consistently, hundreds of thousands or at least 1 million views. It's really negligible what you're going to earn on these apps, on these channels. So it's interesting that from the pandemic created an eventuality, created a reality that they didn't really realize, they weren't prepared for, and now they have to react accordingly to that. Since the pandemic happened, during the pandemic until now, excuse me, I get talking, my throat starts to get this raspiness, tickliness. So from the pandemic forward, people started going less to the workplace. There was all this, remote jobs started popping up and people started working from home. And a lot of people started turning to social media for income, whether it be extra income or in some cases, for a lot of people, it's turned into their primary income. And they ended up just leaving the corporate world, leaving the job sites, and just doing videos, doing lives, doing challenges, doing battles, and people are just throwing money at them. I know a lot of people, guys, a lot of people from here, from Honduras, that went to the States and they're living from TikTok. They're living off of TikTok. And you know what? They're earning more money than I do at my job, teaching and just doing just stupidity. It's amazing. And I'm sitting here going, man, what am I doing? I'm sitting here slaving away, working at my job as a teacher, putting up with all this stress and all this stuff. And here there's these people on TikTok, people that emigrated to the US and have no profession, no formal training at all. They're doing absolutely nothing productive. And yet people are just throwing money at them. There's people right now on TikTok with really minimal effort. They're earning 100 grand a year, or 60 grand, or 80 grand. They're getting, instead of going to a job, being a slave to another company, making money for them, earning maybe 1,200, 1,500 every 2 weeks. They can sit at home on TikTok and they're getting checks rolling in every month of five, six, seven, eight, nine, $10,000. And of course, as this phenomena grows, what happens to corporate America and the billionaires and all this? Oh, no, we can't have that because you're not working for them now. You see, that's what I think it is, guys. That's what I think it comes down to. They can put it behind all this smoke screen of, oh, it's national security and all this other stuff, but I think it all comes down to money. They see people getting ahead. They don't want them to get ahead. They want them at their 9-to-5 job, slaving away for them, for the billionaires and the corporate CEOs and all of them. They want you working for them, making money for them. And they want you making just enough money so that you can barely get by and be struggling and be trapped in that vicious cycle. But they start seeing normal people getting ahead and the whole system goes crazy. So what happens? Well, we got to have all these distractors. We got to have TikTok shutting down. We got to have this, that. I guarantee you guys, I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Okay? And I'm not saying my theory's right. That's what I think. But whatever does happen, whatever TikTok is when it comes out on the other side of all of this, it's going to be very different. Everything's going to change. And the way people were making money before is going to change. So President Trump said that because it was very influential in helping him getting reelected. It gave him a platform with younger people, that he was going to give it an extension of 90 days. Now, you have to think about, well, an extension of 90 days for what? Well, what's going to happen after that then? Well, I think during that 90 days, TikTok's going to be on the negotiating table. So he's going to be seeing during that time how they can acquire TikTok, either himself or through Elon, or maybe Elon and Bezos and Zuckerberg will all get together in a conglomerate and they'll buy it together, but something's going to happen. TikTok's going to be rebranded and things are going to change because, at the end of the day, for all those guys, Zuckerberg and all those guys, it's good for them because it's one less competition for the social media apps. And if they can get it, their monopoly just gets bigger. But like I said, watch out because after TikTok comes out on the other side of this, it's not going to be TikTok anymore. They're going to have to rebrand it. It's going to be a Twitter X type of deal there. Because they can simply, even if they do close it definitively, somebody like Elon Musk can simply launch a new platform exactly like TikTok and just give it another name. But he'll be in control of it. And but like I said, the people that lost access right now to their accounts, lost access to their money. That's gone. They're not going to get that back. And whatever comes out now. Oh, and another thing is, guys, on through TikTok, for example, a lot of the money that's sent to people, it's a lot harder to control the taxes. That's another issue. And the IRS and all of that, well, they're going to get their money one way or the other. But right now, the way TikTok is, it's very difficult because, as I mentioned, for example, how are they getting taxes from all of the illegal immigrants that came from Honduras, for example, that are in the States? They don't have a social security number. They don't have any of that. How they are able to monetize through TikTok, I don't know. I've never had the app. I've never had it. Never used it. I don't know how it works in that sense of how the money works, how people send money to you, or if it's through ads, or if they have like super chats, things like that. My wife has it, so I've seen a little bit of when she's watching it, but I don't know how that works. But how do you tax those people? How do you get the money from them? So there's a lot of untaxed income flying around out there, and the government wants a piece of that. They're going to get a piece of it one way or the other. So when TikTok comes out on the other side of that, I think the monetization is going to be changed a lot. That's what I predict. So I don't know, guys. Anyways, hope everyone's doing well. I'll be keeping my eyes open, always, as I am, for topics on the XJW stuff. And, there's interesting things going on out there. Interesting things. You have to use discernment. Use discernment when you're watching channels. Use discernment even within the XJW community. The truck going by that are selling vegetables and things like that. Lots of noise, as always, noise. Be discerning. You see a lot of channels out there, and you'll see these new channels popping up all of a sudden, even within this community. And at first glance, it seems very interesting. Oh, another channel. But then you start watching it, and you really listen to the message and the people and their language, and you kind of go, wait a minute. Whose side are we on here now? Just saying. Not saying, just saying. So if you know, you know. And if you can discern and understand, you know what I'm saying. You know where I'm coming from. Anyway, thanks for joining me here, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because it won't cost you a thing. And I'll see you in the next CO visit.